Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello there, I am Agung Bahrodi. I am one of the learners and also as one of the installers of Quanta Indonesia English Education Institute. In this chance, I'd like to share with you about the importance of learning English and its problem to master it. While being part of Indonesian society, we are commanded to be able to speak Indonesian as it's our national language which is spoken by all peoples of Indonesia. This language helps us to communicate one another with all Indonesian people who actually possess their languages to speak locally. This language connects all Indonesian societies. It will be a problem if we don't want this language, namely Indonesian. Our communication will be limited. It's caused by the existence of various languages in Indonesia. It's impossible to master languages spoken by all Indonesian societies. It takes a long time to accomplish it. We might not work for a living because most of our time is spent for learning these languages. Although we try to learn them, it doesn't guarantee that we can master and speak them well. This reality doesn't only happen in Indonesia, but also in the world. We've known that there are a lot of languages in this world. We might not be able to list them one by one. It's too a lot. English is the international language. This language isn't only for the English-speaking countries, such as England, America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but it's also for the people on this planet. That's why citizens of the world need English. The role of this language is almost the same as that of Indonesianized that it is now. It is to unite and connect the people who possess different languages in the world. English isn't only as an international language, but it's also a language of any knowledge. I think everybody has known it. To deny such fact is only against reality. To prove this reality, I'd like to invite you to notice your electronic equipments at home. Let's choose one of them as an example. A fridge made in Germany owns manual book written in both German and English. There always exists English language in any products made in non-English speaking countries. If you would like to buy a product made in Japan, the description of the product will be written in both Japanese and English. I think you've known who Jack Ma is, a rich man from China. His motivation giving speech is now familiar to everyone who uses internet. We call them netizens. You can access his motivation giving speech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. He speaks English instead of Mandarin on most of his videos. His decision of why he speaks English is to make the netizens understand his explanation. Netizens aren't only from China, but they're from different countries on this planet as well. If he spoke Mandarin instead of English, the netizens wouldn't understand his explanation. They actually can understand it with the help of the latest technology, just like Google Translate, but it's not simple. They have to do other extra effort to only understand his explanation on internet. It's not efficient in the era of which people like to multitask. They might be editing a video or creating a design while they're listening to Jack Ma's motivation on podcast. Multitasking has become their habit. They don't want to complicate themselves with an extra task, just like operating Google Translate during listening to a podcast and editing a video at the same time. Jack Ma might have realized it, or he has known that only English can help himself go international. TOEFL, TOEIC, and IELTS are the requirements to study overseas or to get a scholarship. Like I said, English is a language of any knowledge. Lots of academic literatures and international journals are written in English. Job seekers nowadays need English to fulfill one of the requirements of various job vacancies. What I have explained to you shows what an important language the English is. Being able to speak English is also an investment. I think you've known that investment is very important because its basic purpose is to secure our future. How can being able to speak English be an investment? Well, it can be a long explanation. However, because it will give us lots of valuable information, so I don't mind talking about it. Let's get started. Well, if we notice the money we make or save, its value will always decrease from year to year. We used to be able to buy a kilogram of rice with only 3,500 rupiah in 2005. However, with that money, it's only enough to pay the parking attendant at the parking lot today. That means the amount of our saving might remain the same, but its value will always decrease. A fall in the value of our money is called inflation. This is also called money killer. Inflation doesn't only happen in Indonesia, but it also happens in every country around the world. Society can do nothing to stop inflation because this literally occurs systematically. Although our paycheck increases every year, it doesn't mean that we're able to upgrade our lifestyle or even save more money. However, it's only enough to cover the inflation itself. Therefore, inflation has been scaring people who have been realizing its existence. They know that they still hold the cash with them, but the longer they hold it, the less its value is. Knowing this reality, lots of people learn how to secure the value of money. They finally find a new formula to keep the value of their money secured. They name it investment. Investment is an act of investing money in the hope that its amount increases. It takes time. It never succeeds in a short time. The higher its return you get is the bigger its risk you bear. Actually, the increasing amount of our money is not to make profit. We can at least secure our money from its decreasing value. If you're able to make profit from the investment, it means we're lucky, but that's not its real goal. Based on such explanation on investment, we know that English speaking skill isn't in the form of money. So how can it be an investment? We know that the skill isn't money. However, with this skill, it's going to be much easier to make money. It opens lots of bigger chances internationally. Our business can easily be bigger and bigger because of our international relationship or network. To get a job won't be difficult anymore, as we can be interviewed in English with no problem at all. Even though English speaking skill isn't money, but it can attract money. So English speaking skill is intrinsically very valuable. Besides getting the benefits of learning English, we must also realize its difficulties. In fact, there are a lot of people who don't succeed in learning English. They learn it, but they aren't able to function it orally and orally. They don't enjoy the process of learning English either. English learning process only burdens themselves merely with no significant result at all. In common learning English, needs intensively vocabularies memorizing process. Besides, they have to learn its grammar to understand how to arrange sentences correctly. These two combinations aren't enough. They still need training and practicing an intensive conversation again and again so that they get used to. After being able to speak English, they still have difficulties to speak it, still have multitask work to do during speaking English. They have to think of the idea of what they would like to say. Then they must decide the proper tenses. After that, they have to remember the vocabularies. When they're able to fulfill such requirements, they can start speaking English. Besides having difficulties in speaking English, they also have a problem in listening to the English spoken by the interlocutor. They need to translate what the interlocutor says before they can understand it. This is really complicated and not effective. Based on what I have conveyed, to master English seems impossible for average intelligence people, even though it's an international language and very important for any aspects. So let me introduce to you a phenomenal program with its unique method of learning English. English becomes easy and efficient after learning it through this program. Its program is Level Quanta Mastering English, and its method is Learning English through Subconscious Installing Method. The names of the program and its method belong to Quanta Indonesia English Education Institute. I don't want to talk much about this program. If you're curious about it, you should seek information concerning this program on www.quantaindonesia.net, or you can directly join its class to find out the answer. I thank you very much for your nice attention. I am Agung Bahrodi. See you again next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.